My mother taught me when I was 9 years old, but it's taken all this time to become an expert. There aren't that many girls now that know how to spin, because times have changed. Years ago, we didn't have schools, and so people spent more time in their homes, which is when my mother taught me all these things. It was also useful for us to know how to make our own hammocks.
I don't speak any Pemon, but I could have listened to her all day. What a fantastic lady. We may not speak Pemon, but there is one universal language that's understood everywhere. Football is not my thing, but for the crew it was an opportunity to join in that they couldn't resist. Mind you, it did seem to become the geriatrics taking on a youth team, and I'm not sure that's in the rulebook. The children of the village spend every spare minute on this pitch, and who can blame them? It's a perfect setting. But the Pemon have a rich cultural history of their own. There were rock paintings nearby, and as the end of my time here approached, I took the chance to go and take a look. I'm fascinated by rock art and ancient symbols. These haven't been studied yet in any great detail, but they remind me of similar paintings made in red ochre in Australia on the other side of the world. The Pemon have only been here a few centuries, so these paintings may not be the most ancient I've ever seen. They would still have been done before the Pemon had any contact with the outside world, and ancient superstitions still surround them. What stories do you remember associated with this place?
Sí. Bueno, el profesor era, bueno, uno de muchacho.
Years ago, there was a scientist who had heard about the pictograms but didn't believe what he'd heard. So one day he decided to come over and check if they were really here. And he saw it was true, and there were some pictures. So he studied the pictures and copied them and spent several hours here. Then he returned to his village. But when he tried to go to bed, he couldn't sleep. No one knows exactly what happened, but he had real problems in the night. Strange nightmares and feelings. And all because of these pictograms.
It may sound far-fetched to our modern world, but I could understand what he meant. It's difficult to describe what it feels like to be here. I think the nearest thing I could say is rather like walking into a public library when there's nobody else there. There's an energy left by the people. There are signs when you learn to recognize them, like the ground that's been scorched by fire, that says many people have sat here, trod here, been here. You can almost hear echoes of the conversations coming from the walls themselves. Places like this are very special. I'm very lucky because I've been able to travel to many parts of the world where traditional people have told me of places like this and explained what happens in them. One thing you can say for certain is that when you get rock art, you've come to a place where people spend a lot of time, and just having a look around here, I found this area here where the sand is very grey, and sand changes to this grey colour like that when you have a lot of fires here. In fact, there's still signs of the occasional fire, some charcoal here. And then poking around in it, I've already found interesting things. I've got some stone here that shows evidence of being worked by people. There's a little blade there that's been struck off of a core by somebody. Probably very old, the edges are quite rounded. There are bits of quartz also that show signs of being worked by people, but there isn't any quartz to be found near here. So this has been brought here specifically, probably because the quartz gave a very sharp cutting edge. This is a tiny blade made of jasper, but this jasper is not from near here. Again, it's been brought here and worked. You can see there the distinctive ridges, conchoidal fracture marks that show that this has been made by a person. It's been struck from a core in this way. Bang, off it comes, giving this tiny little razor blade. And there's even ochre. There's yellow and there's red ochre. These may be rocks that were provided some of the pigments that made these very paintings. Fantastic. The power of the paintings reminded me how bushcraft often reinforces the power of places to inspire us, and I had an irresistible urge for one last bit of exploration. It's been a fantastic visit, but if there's one place to take a last look at this stunning landscape, it's got to be up there on top of that pinnacle. Incredible view. I'm not even on the top yet, and the landscape, it just stretches on as far as the eye can see, and already the forest has taken on that look of broccoli, but I can still hear the sounds inside it. But that is another world. This is a separate place, and I really think that Conan Doyle was close to the mark when he said this was a lost world. Maybe not lost, just not yet discovered.